Hey, how are you? I want to read you something. I got this book yesterday. It's called Pain Woman Takes Your Keys and Other Essays. It's by Sonya Huber. And whether you are chronically ill or have experienced sickness, or someone you love have experienced sickness, you will at some point experience it. You will at some point have something happen to you that makes you aware of your own mortality. And it can be a potentially powerful and transformative experience. It can also be very overwhelming and isolating. But you're never alone. And that's this sort of beautiful thing about it. Finding this book has really put me face to face with a lot of the experiences that I feel alone in living with chronic pain and chronic illness. But you're not. And that is easier to bear that way. So I think you should get this book. But until you can, I would like to read you one, maybe two pieces. We'll see. Let's see if we can get through one. It's very emotional to read. So this is one of the first essays. It's very short. It's 2 pages. And it's called Welcome to the Kingdom of the Sick. When I am ill, only the kingdom of the ill is comfort. The image of laughing, limber-limbed bodies with shining hair is not bitter because I long for it. It is bitter because it does not have anything to teach me, because it makes me forget the solidity of my own ground. I cannot aim for that bright country of the well anymore. It is barred to me, and as I hold it in my mind's eye, there is no room for crushing nostalgia. The taste is bitter because it is the taste denied. What I learn is that the kingdom of the ill is a vast bedrock. We appear weak and reclined, yet we cannot be invaded or defeated. Look at us. We are unbreakable in our brokenness. We cannot be cured and are therefore invincible. We have dropped down the well. We reel in a slow motion dance, treading where others fear to tread, continuing to breathe in the post-normal experience. We are the zombies, the undead. We are the good and the bad witches, the double-sighted. The kingdom of the ill is mighty and legion, and it is the borderland all bodies must pass through. And we have set up tents, encampments, and homes. We wave at you from beyond the gates. When you have arrived, you have arrived. Welcome and blessings. When you have arrived, you have arrived. Welcome and blessings. When you have arrived, you have arrived. Welcome and blessings. When you are aching, think of the vastness of the kingdom of the sick. Think of all of us here, feeling the most common feeling of the body in unfamiliar territory. The body feeling its own existence. The body uneasy, conscious, mindful, aware. Dis-ease. Feeling a roughness that polishes a moment, not necessarily to grant an easy enlightenment, not at all. Do not tell those around and outside you that you are grateful for your illness, for they do not hear it right. They will think that illness is a secret boon that delivers a greater intensity, a sheen that adds to the experience of health, and one that somehow delivers them back into the kingdom of the well. But that is not what you mean. What you mean is, there is the secret door we all must enter, and I am entering it, and it is painted in luminescent colors that I am drawn to describe, but cannot. What you might mean is, I am less afraid to die because I am dying. What you might mean is, I see we are all dying in slow motion like flowers and without any diminution in intensity, and that is different from what I expected to feel. I sit up in a shudder, my back lodged against the metal frame of the gate opening into the kingdom of the sick. I can still pass and carry my shape in the land of the well, though my dimensions are collapsing. Only the legion in the left hand of the ill offers comfort and beckons with the depth of its understanding. The ill are real, fully alive, such a vast and churning army, never ceasing. This is what I mean. They are permanent. The ocean of the sick with fevered eyes and bedrock has always been a stripe on the horizon, flashing pink and bright. What I mean to say is this. A fevered look is not an unintelligent look, maybe not even a pleading look. It could be true that the kingdom of the sick does not even reach out its fingers to you to request and plead for your health. It could be that the kingdom of the sick wants nothing from you because it contains you, because it is your Alpha and Omega, because it is your mother. We are your living sunset, but we don't want to scare you with the sunset, which is your mother. We are real, and only illness reveals the true bedrock of illness. It is not imaginary. This land is the most reliable and most vast of the human experience. I would make statues of the sick and dying, not to sob at the waste of sickness or death, but at its normalcy, at the way the fluids flow out from these temporary containers. Illness is not a departure from the itinerary, not a battle, not a failure. It is the noble, permanent outbreath, the quotation mark to close out the sentence. It's hard to read more than one. I feel like I need to sit with each for such a long time. But I want to read you one more. It's the title track, the first entry here. It's a poem. It's called What Pain Wants. Pain wants you to put in earplugs because sounds are grating. Pain has something urgent to tell you but forgets over and over again what it was. Pain tells you to put your laptop in the refrigerator. Pain runs into walls at 45-degree angles and ricochets back into the center of the room. Pain resents being personified or anthropomorphized. Pain is a four-dimensional person with fractal intelligence. Pain wants to be taken to an arts and crafts store. Pain likes to start big projects and not finish them. Pain wants to clean one countertop. Pain asks you to break itself up into neat, square segments like a chocolate bar. Pain makes a hissing, popping hum like high-tension power lines. Pain has ambition, but is utterly unfocused. Pain will get its revenge if you ignore it, but sometimes forgets what it was angry about. Pain wants to watch a different TV channel than you do. Pain wants to look at you with the inscrutable eyes and thin beak of an egret. Pain stubs out the cigarette of your to-do list. Pain will first try to do some of the things on that list, but will end up with socks on its antlers. Pain demands that you make eye contact with it and then sit utterly still. Pain folds the minutes into fascinating origami constructions with its long fingers. Pain leaves the meter running. Pain asks you to think about the breath flowing in and out of your lungs. Pain will ask you to do this 307 times today. Pain does not mean to harm you. Pain is frustrated that it is trapped in a body that is ill-fitting for its unfolded shape. Pain has been born in the wrong universe. Pain is wild with grief at the discomfort it causes. Pain wants to collect bottle caps to show you the serrated edges, which means something it cannot explain. Pain keeps pointing to serrated edges and scalloped patterns, but cannot explain how these will unlock it. Pain emphasizes that it is not a god, but then makes the symbol for neighbor over and over, and you do not understand what it means. Pain puts its beaked head into its long-fingered wing hands in frustration and loneliness. Pain winks at you with its dot-black eyes and tries to make the sign for I love you. Pain folds up its wings and legs and spindles quietly and blinks up at you when you say, I know. Pain understands that you cannot say I love you back, but there is something bigger behind I love you that you do not have the words for. Pain also understands that the background to I love you is something like a highway. Pain licks at its hot spots like an anxious dog. Pain, when held in place, spirals down into drill bits, so it has to keep moving to prevent these punctures. Pain asks you to breathe deeply so it can zing about and not get caught on the edges and corners of calendars, books, and electronic rectangles. Pain's favorite music is the steel drum, and its favorite flavor is fake. Pain prefers any texture in which tiny seeds are embedded. Pain shakes its head no. It says that it's you who likes that texture and will have nothing to do with spheres. Pain only wants for you to see where it starts and you stop, but you are a transparent bubble. Pain and its kind have waited patiently for humans to evolve into the fourth dimension, but they are worried that the project is failing. Pain feels as though Earth's gravity is as strong as Jupiter's. Pain has something metallic in its bones and is captured by the magnetic core of our hot planet. Pain envies flesh and its soft strength and ease of movement. Pain inhabits curved, soft bodies in hopes of fluid movement and then cries when it breaks them. Pain would like French fries and Netflix. I hope you have time to sit with this after. Makes a difference, I think, when you let it integrate that way. In case you need some more convincing, I'll read you a couple of the reviews on this book. This book illustrates, in a way that mere political rhetoric cannot, how the lack of accessible, affordable medical care negatively affects everyone on a personal, emotional, and economic scale. In this humorous and affecting memoir, Huber details her experiences navigating the American healthcare system and brings a necessary dose of reality to the political debates and propaganda surrounding healthcare reform. And I don't want to scare you, but we're all getting sicker. If you looked before the 2000s, there were no cases of diabetes evolving in children. The adult onset diabetes is what they used to call it. Now there's over 20,000 cases, I think, a year. Sugar is being pumped into all of our food, pesticides. Everyone's being over-medicated with opioids, numbed with prescription medication, told to ignore what the pain says, but the pain says something is broken. Something has to change. And it's easy if you are healthy now to think, doesn't matter, but you will not always be healthy. I can guarantee you will one day be sick. Someone you love will one day die because they cannot get the treatment that they need. That is a fact. Capitalism has failed us in many ways. This is one of them. They've allowed profit to destroy our food cycle. The entire food chain is toxic. Americans eat so much meat. We're killing the planet faster than our diesel engines can. We have a president who condones sexual assault and it's trying to tell you something and you're not listening because you think you're too busy, or it's inconvenient, or it's inappropriate to experience those extremes of our spectrum for human emotion. But it's necessary. We will only get sicker. Fight now, do something now while you can, before you are sick, and then everything becomes harder. Just surviving becomes harder. It's already hard enough. I hope you think about this when you're shopping for presidential candidates. I hope you realize that the lunches in our schools are mostly pizza and hamburgers and french fries, and that obesity is a new kind of famine because there's sugar in everything, hidden in everything. Even when you think you're eating healthy, if you're not cooking your own food, you're still poisoning yourself. And if you're preparing it poorly, even more so. But all the packaged things, all the additives, all the artificial everything, we have to find a way out. And I think this book talks about the beginning of what that looks like. The importance of healthcare reform, how necessary it is to take care of people. That's it. Just take care of them. We can work so much harder when we're healthy, so much harder when we are pooling our resources, when we are taking the stress of survival off of the nuclear family. You're not fucked up because your nuclear family failed, or your whatever was abusive, or your whatever was an asshole, or you had this bad thing happen to you when you were young. Like, the story that we tell ourselves about why we're sick is ridiculous. It's been manufactured by someone that doesn't want you to see the systemic problem. We've been isolated. We've been told to keep our heads down and keep working, keep grinding, work for someone else, make them rich while you and your family continues to barely survive on 2 incomes. We were sold the idea of an American dream that never arrived. We're living in a post-future, in a kind of apocalypse. We ask people to compromise too much of what makes us human to survive. We are so judgmental and disconnected from each other, let alone from ourselves, from who we really are, paying so much attention to what we'll be judged for, what will affect what someone will think, what is appropriate for my gender, class, status, location, whatever. Get in touch with your pain. Your pain wants to show you who you are. It wants to tell you why you're here. You don't know how much time you have left. Guess what? I don't think you want to come back and try to learn the same shit over again. The amount of emotional intensity you have is equal to the amount or the momentum with which your soul wants to learn more. Feel your feelings. Stop numbing them. We need you. We need you to feel stuff. Don't leave us out here. Us empaths, we can't do this alone. Like we need, we need all kinds of people. And it'll be overwhelming at first, but you won't be alone. There will be people and resources and places. There will be more opportunities to express. And we'll get through this together. I hope you'll go with me. Remember to subscribe for more videos. I'm going to try to do 1 or 2 a week, something like that. And the nude ones are always on my Patreon, of course, because just like we need to get in touch with our pain, we need to get in touch with body language. And when 90% of our bodies are covered all the time and 90% of communication is actually nonverbal, look that up, it's real. It's just another way that we're disconnected from ourselves. Getting in touch with body language, with emotions, with perceiving emotions in other people's bodies, and how to hold space for them. That's one way to get in touch with your pain. I get in touch with my pain through art. Otherwise, it swallows you. It really does. It's come pretty close. And I think that I had to have a doctor tell me that I would die soon before I started to want to live, really. I hope it doesn't take that long for you. Sending you love.